the last video, I was able to successfully retrieve 20 IBC totes. Now it's time to prepare a few and put some firewood in them and see how well they work for firewood storage. The preparation process is fairly straightforward. First, I'll need to pull out the plastic bladder that's inside, and then there's a section of the side of the metal cage that I'll cut out to be able to reach in and get the firewood a little easier. And there's some panels on the side of the cage as well that I'm going to remove to be able to help with airflow for drying the firewood. And then finally, the plastic bladder, I'm going to cut the top off of that so that once I've got it full of firewood, I can use that as a lid on top. This wood storage system is one of the many I've built out here since I've been here. And I just love building systems. My orientation is basically if I have to do anything more than once, I end up figuring out a way to make a system out of it. And recently it occurred to me that even though I love systems so much, I've never actually tried to define what a system means to me. I mean, I could look it up in a dictionary, but I really wanted to have a definition that aligned with my experience of what a system is. So I spent some time thinking about it, and here's what I came up with. It's a bit dense, and I think it might be a good idea to unpack it a little, but here it is. A system is a network of purposefully aligned components which reduces disorder within the bounds of its structure, which is definitely a mouthful, but it makes a lot of sense to me. So if you just take it apart, the first piece, a network of purposefully aligned components. So a network of components would just mean a group of things that have some kind of relationship or connection to each other. And purposefully aligned means that I'm bringing my conscious awareness to how these components are connected or related to achieve some kind of goal. So in the case of this wood storage system, there's a fair amount of components. There's the container, there's the wood that goes in the container. The relationship there is fairly obvious. There's also the relationship between the steel container and the tractor because it's built so that it will accept the tractor forks. And there's even a relationship between all the containers together and the space that I've cleared. Those have to match up too. And oftentimes in a system, if two components don't have exactly the right kind of alignment, it really breaks the entire system. In this example, if the container didn't match up with the tractor forks, I wouldn't be able to pick the container up and it would make the system kind of useless. The second part of the definition is which reduces disorder within the bounds of its structure. And I love this part because I really think that in almost any system, this is part of what's happening in the goal. In other words, there's some kind of chaos and you're trying to bring order to it. But you're only really bringing order to it in the system itself. It's not like the entire universe is going to become order just because you built this system. If you want to get really nerdy about it, there's actually no more total order in the universe just because you built this system. The law of entropy kind of demands that you have to spend energy to be able to create the system, which doesn't really result in overall more order. It's all pretty nerdy and certainly not necessary to be able to build a thing that lets me manage my firewood better. But I do like having a conceptual underpinning to what a system is. I think it makes me more conscious about when to build systems and how to build them. At this point, I've got firewood cut and split and filled up 2 IBC totes. And I'm now feeling really confident that this particular strategy is going to work really well for me. The totes are easy to pick up and move around. They hold a pretty decent amount of wood. I think it's probably about 1/3 of a cord. And so I'm pretty sure the 20 totes total that I bought is going to be great to be able to last me two seasons, basically. One half of it will be seasoned for that year, and the next half will be seasoning for the next year. Now I've got 18 more totes that I need to take care of, but I don't think I'm going to do that this year. I think I've done enough. I've got the storage space strategy worked out, and I've got it all cleared and the totes there. So when I'm ready to start cutting and splitting more firewood and filling those up, I'll just kind of do them one at a time. The one drag about this system is that while I'm able to use a portion of the plastic bin by cutting off the top and using it as a lid for rain protection, I have the whole rest of the bin that I'm not really sure what to do with. And I'm not sure if it's recyclable or how I would even cut it up and use it for some good purpose. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I'm kind of hoping I can figure out a way to use it in a way that's responsible instead of having all this waste plastic around. But other than that, I think the system's going to work great. I'm excited about it, and I'm going to call it done for the winter.